guys, how are you doing? I hope you're all well. Yeah, we've started quite early today, haven't we? What time is it? 5:15. Where's my chat? Hang on, let me just get my chat up. There we are. Hello, everyone. Hi, Shooter. Hello, Hardhouse Transcore. Hi, John. Hello, Sandwich. Yeah. So I hope you guys are good. I wanted to start early. Hi, Ferg. So that I can finish early, so I can go to bed a bit earlier tonight. I'm still catching up with sleep after the weekend. So yeah. Hi, Connor Kieran. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, make sure you have notifications switched on. Really important. So glad that you got here. Okay, well, seeing as Connor is in, let's do yours first. Let's get on. Should we just dive right in? Hello, Bosky. Hello, Official Carbs. Hello, Unit Division. We have got quite a short one tonight as well, because like I said, I'm still catching up with sleep. I look very white today, don't I? It's like, hang on, let me just see if I can turn off this light. That's a bit dark. Oh, it'd be fine. It'll be fine. I'll put it on a little bit. I don't know how to... As you can see, before we get started, as you can see, I'm in the middle of cleaning all my records. I'm not sure if many of you have seen my posts or not, but yeah, look. Vinyl everywhere. So slowly getting through all of my records, which is taking a long time. Yep, the super cleaning machine, it's no, I was going to put some on while we're doing the demo drop, but it's quite loud because it's an ultrasonic cleaner. It's quite a loud. Yeah, I can't tell you how good it is. But I mean, I'll be able to show you because you'll be able to hear the difference. But hang on, let me just put the thing up so you can see it. So that's what it looks like. And then it's got a spindle. So what you do is you have this, and then you take these off. And then you put your records on one by one, like that, and then you put like a little spacer, and then another one, and then it goes in that machine. And you switch it on, leave it in for 20 minutes, and it sorts them out. Honestly, they are, they're just amazing. So at the moment it's getting up to the correct temperature. Hi, Jacinta. Hang on, it's a bit low. So yeah, it's getting up to the right temperature at the moment. That'll do. But if you want to get one, then please ask me, because the guy I get it from, the guy I got that one from, he makes them himself, And if anything goes wrong with it or anything like that, you can always send it back to him, and he said that he will sort it out for, if anything needs replacing in it, he'll sort it out free of charge. Just, just paying for the parts and postage to send it back. I'm just going to put his email address in the chat now. So, because he makes them, or what he does is he adapts a ultrasonic machine that's already used for other things, and he adapts it for use with vinyl. And what that means is you don't have to spend like $2,000 on one of these like super duper vinyl, specifically for vinyl ultrasonic cleaners, because it's been modified to fit vinyl. I think that's his, hang on. Yeah, so I'm leaving his email address in the chat now. colinpbaker@sky.com. colinpbaker@sky.com. Tell him I sent you. And yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. There. Yay! Hi, Cosmic Butterfly. Yeah, it's a night and day difference, because I was using a disco cleaner before, which is basically you put your record in a machine, like not a machine, like a little plastic bath, and then you spin it round and then you leave it out to dry. Like, even doing that, it's nowhere near as good as that machine over there. Like, it's so good that that's all I've been doing since I got back from my gig on Sunday morning. I've been in my studio cleaning vinyl, and I'm still not bored, because I just love the process of it. I'm getting so excited that I'm going to be able to play all my vinyl without having to keep stopping to tidy up, clean, spots of grease and stuff off them. So it's just amazing. But yeah, there we go. On with the show. We're going to go Connor Kieran first. Excuse me, I'm just eating nuts. There you go. Let's go.
It has the same 24 hours in a day that we do. If you want something enough, you can achieve it, and it just depends to what lengths you want to go to get to where you want to be in the future.
Music for our generation. You want to go to get where you want to be in the future.
There's just one little problem, and that is that it is absolute total fucking bollocks.
Excuse me, bud? hours in a day that we do.
Problem, and that is that it is absolute total fucking bollocks.
That we do. That we do.
Music for our generation.
Hey. 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 That we do. That we do. That we do. That we do.
Okay, guys, so that was Connor Kieran in 24 hours. What did you guys think of that? Yeah, I couldn't really play it as loud as I wanted to because it's a pre-master as well, isn't it? But I think it would be better if you're putting up a version or sending a version to this show to just normalize it first, and then obviously we'll be able to play it a bit louder volume. So yeah, there was that. But yeah, I think if it's
Beyonce has the same 24 hours in a day that we do.
I think that it's promising. It is a promising track. I do feel like my camera's still really... I hate moving stuff in here. That's better. That'll do. So I think there's a few tuning issues in terms of like the stabs that you're using. It could be tuned to the root key a little bit better. Like some of the stabs, like the doo-doo, doo-doo, that one. But also on the flip side of that, it is quirky. So as long as you are aware of tuning your stabs as well as your instruments, your bass, obviously your melodies. What's that? It's my phone going off. Just make sure that you remember to do that kind of thing. So I'd like to see how it sounds after you get it mastered. Yeah, I agree with what Bosky said there as well. I think you used a few too many woos. Woo, 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 woos. They can usually be a bit overbearing if you use them a bit too much, but that could just be personal preference as well. But honestly, this is something that I think you should continue with because it is promising. And you're only going to get better by making another one and another one and another one. So yeah, keep going with it. Well done, mate, and thank you very, very much for sending it in. Okay, next up we have got... Oh, and please guys, please go and follow Connor on his SoundCloud. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next up we've got Harrison J. And this is You Got It. Where's my folder? There it is. Wow, we were. Okay, so Harrison J there, aka M Series. So yeah, before we get into that, massive thank you to Sandra Bullitt. I've known Sandra for a long time now. A long time. We've both played on different streaming platforms. And I'm so happy to see you on Twitch as well, Sandra. So yeah, thank you so much for the raid earlier. Just going to give you another shout out. Honestly, guys, please go and give her a follow and go and check her out. She's so talented. She's absolutely amazing. Oh, but yeah. So yeah, thank you and welcome in, Raiders. Yeah, this is the demo drop. So what we do on a Tuesday is we get you to send in any of your unfinished or recently finished music, and we help you by listening to it and by giving you some feedback. Hopefully maybe get you signed to a label. That's happened quite a few times. Collabing with other people. Bit of a think tank, you know, of like-minded individuals. So we discuss everything really, like favourite current plugins and techniques. Then we go away and we try stuff out that people have recommended we could try and do. It kind of it does accelerate your own learning when you converse with other like-minded people. And that's what it's about here. It is about us growing together as artists. So yeah, welcome. I don't have much to say on Harrison J's track here and that's a good thing. It's a lot better than anything I could do as well. So all I'm going to say is I loved it. I didn't like it. I loved it. To quote Simon Cowell. Oh, thank you, Connor. I'm pleased to hear that. I really am pleased to hear that. This is yet another great piano house track, Harrison J. I've got peanuts in my mouth. No. Can we just have one stream? Oh, this is why we can't have nice things. Hello, Dr. Game Doom. I know, Bosky, stop it. I knew as soon as I said it. Oh, there he is. Oh, no. Stop it. I'm too tired for this. I've had hardly any sleep over the weekend. Oh, no. But yeah, Harrison J, Martin, thank you for sending this in. It always makes me smile when I hear one of your tracks. It really does. I love it. If you could send me the full version of it, I would be very, very grateful because I would love to play that one. So yeah. And Harrison J, please can you put in your what's it called? SoundCloud link so everyone can go and follow you. Yeah, I can send a Rennie clip as well. No! And there it is. Oh, God's sake. You're so obvious, Rennie. So obvious. Okay, next up we've got John Holland. And this is called Cider on the Beach.
sun's shining, everybody's smiling. Yes, my love feels so much better when we're drinking cider on the beach.
I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. It does need a music video. Yes. Yes, it definitely needs a music video. Oh. Yeah, John, I think you've sent something in before, haven't you? Because you do these kind of like quirky tracks. I'm sure it's you. Yeah, like I was singing along with it by the third time I heard that chorus, and that's always a good sign. It's really, really uplifting. And come on, everyone has drunk cider on the beach, haven't they? I know I have. Hello, Wanted Underground Sounds. So Dr. Game Dune says, I personally would prefer a bit more clear vocals. Maybe. Vocals is a hard subject to master. Not master as in mastering, as in... You know what I mean. Hi, Kid Dynamo. Like I've had a night out with Keith Chegwin. I love that. Yeah, I really, really, really like that. It put me in a good mood instantly. It really did. Like, where would that kind of track be used? Because the thing is, like, as a Yes Candy kid, that is the ethos of the thingy. Of the whatever this is, the stream, discos. But the thing is, as a dance orientated DJ that's used to hearing music that has an intro and an outro of a certain BPM, and as a music producer, I do find myself getting in a rut. Even though I'm not, because I do know I do other kinds of music, but you can sometimes think that the only kind of music that you're supposed to be making is dance music. But sometimes if we step out of that and make music based on a feeling or a subject or a memory like this, like, there's something really cool about that. There's something really natural about that. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that for me, and maybe this will resonate with some of you, maybe that's what it is sometimes, is it doesn't feel natural for me to be making dance music all the time. Like, 4 to the floor, arrangement has to be a certain way because everyone's used to hearing it in that kind of a way. It feels too limited for me sometimes. So whenever I hear a track like this one from John, or People Like Us is another one, it reminds me that not every single time I go into the studio it needs to be to make a dance track. It doesn't need to be something that will be released on a record label and DJs are going to play it, you know? Yeah, exactly, Connor. Yeah, Disneyland or something. This is the thing, like, maybe sometimes we could do well to take a step back and not think to ourselves that this track has to be on a record label or anything like that. Maybe it could just be. Like, I think sometimes, and I say this for me, and it might, again, someone else might relate with this, but sometimes when I'm making music, it's always a means to an end. And music means a lot more to me than that. And it scares me sometimes to try and finish music if it means finishing it means I need to then go and, you know, pitch it to a record label or put it out on my record label. Sometimes it's just nice to make something for the sake of making it, for the sake of creating. And this is what this song reminds me of, is that aspect of being an artist, is to have fun with it and sometimes do something that maybe doesn't even keep to a tempo, you know? Make it for you, yeah. I do. The more as I grow as an artist myself as well, the more I feel it's important to be able to express yourself in different ways. And if you are a producer and if you are a DJ as well, just try and step out of those lines sometimes. Try and step out of those boundaries and those strict, hard and fast rules of arrangement, composition, sound choice, stylistic qualities, and do some different stuff as well. Yeah, is John here? I think I've seen John in the chat. But yeah, if you guys can please go and give him a follow, I'd be very grateful. Thank you. Oh, is that you? Basmotastic. There we go. You've just arrived. Well, we've just been singing along to your track and we love it. We absolutely love it. It's amazing. And you have inspired me again to do my silly songs, as I call them. I love writing silly songs, and I have begun to start sharing my silly songs with the world. And so listening to this one, it just reminds me of the fun aspect of stuff. You know, to stop chasing having to make a bloody tech house tune for a big record label, or, you know, sometimes we just need to make something for the sake of making it. Have you seen my Sprout video, Rennie? Yeah. Sprout. Yeah, like my Sprout rap. I'll just find the thing for it. So the other day, I decided I was going to start to show some more of my own videos of me making silly songs. Even though the one that I've made is nowhere near like that good. It was just off the cuff. So like basically, I said to my dad, "Dad, can you do me a rap about sprouts?" And so my dad started singing about sprouts, and then I started doing it as well. We're not going to listen to it now because it's really bad quality. It was taken a long time ago, but it took me a long time to be comfortable with showing people my creative process. So in your spare time, you can go and have a look at that. And you, Sandra, love you. So the YouTube link for my silly song with my dad, don't watch it now, you can watch it in a bit. You can watch it now if you want, but it will show you, you know, my working out of stuff. Like it's It's amazing. I don't know how. Sometimes I don't know how it comes to me quickly in that way. Hadn't obviously practiced it. That's not the point of it. The point of it is to always, just take a subject and then just start singing about it straight away. Sometimes it's easier than others. Like, I always found that if I had, if it was a weekend, shall we say, and everyone's in a happy place, it would be easier to flow with these silly ideas. But yeah, see what you think of that. But going back to this track that John's made, it does remind me of that aspect of being an artist and how important it is to not always just have an end game with something. It doesn't always have to be for a label. It doesn't always have to be for boosting your DJ career. We don't want music to be only made as a means to an end. Sometimes it just wants to be created. So thank you, John. Next up we have got Oliver Gold, and this is I'm Good Either Way.
Forget about me and all the things I could give to you, baby. But I guess you can't see, making new memories with me. Don't forget about me and all the things I could give to you, baby. But I guess you can't see, making new memories with me.
Wow. Like, come on. How good was that? How good was that? Cosmic Butterfly says, only thing I'd say is maybe in more intense bass a little bit. What system are you listening on? What are you listening on? A phone? Are you listening on monitor speakers or on headphones? In headphones, okay. So depending on the format we're listening on will determine what you're hearing in the bass frequencies particularly. So this is the thing, isn't it? Because in this day and age, you need to have a mix down that will sound good on a phone, in a club, in headphones. Like, it didn't used to be like that. Well, yeah, I mean, it goes to everyone as well, John. Don't worry. But yeah, it is interesting for me to know what people are listening on, because sometimes sometimes you can think that it's missing something, but it could actually just be the fact that you're listening on a phone, for example, or bass heavy earphones or whatever it is. And the reason why it's important to remind ourselves of it is because we can use that in the studio in our own music. Because it wasn't until I looked into this that I realised that, I mean, I knew a phone didn't have the bass that my studio speakers would have, for example, or my monitors on my DJ setup, but I knew, I didn't know like what the frequency ranges would be. Like, instead of like getting like, we don't need to get like too scientific about it, but point is, we're in an age now where music is, what's the right word for it? It's listened to on loads of different types of platforms. So you want to find yourself getting a mix down which suits all of them and doesn't sound bad on any of them at all. Or you could get two mix downs. You could do like one for the club, and you could have one which is more based for Spotify, that kind of a thing. But for me personally, I thought that this had enough bass. I quite liked it. The thing is, if you start adding more bass, it's going to shoot frequencies up, and then other stuff won't come through, or you're going to get clipping. Rennie's put, I'm listening on Bayer Dynamic DT990 Pro 250 on, made for mixing and mastering with open back. Okay, cool. No, do not apologise, Cosmic Butterfly, because this is why it's an important subject. And I'm extremely glad that you said it. Extremely glad, because every time we'll have someone say something like the bass, there isn't enough bass or blah, blah. And that's why I love to be able to say that, because it reminds everyone, including me, of the need to make sure it sounds good on a pair of headphones, on a phone loudspeaker. So it's really important that you brought that up and you picked that up, because the maker of this track can then go back and very, very fine tune the next render mix down of this track or the next track, depending on if they want to, revisit this one or just move on to the next. It's really important information. So never be scared of saying it. It's really important that we get to hear what people's perception of our music is. But then it's also important for us all to understand that the perception could be based on what you're listening on, if that makes sense. Hi Timber, my next gig isn't till November, so we've seen you right now. Yeah, I'll be around, Timber, don't you worry. Don't you worry, darling. I do start back at university soon though, so based on, yeah. It is really hard. It's really hard to get a good balance. It really is. And you can see why people want to stick to what they know, you know, genre-wise, because as soon as you start to try and make music in a different genre, once you've managed to get your mix down nailed and get it sounding good on all of these platforms, and then you throw in having to start learning a new genre into the mix, because a lot of genres will have different there'll be different instruments which need to be at the forefront, and so you'll have to think differently as to what needs the most focus. For example, in drum and bass, the focus is more around the snare, but then in hard house it's the kick. Why not mix music genres? No, you absolutely should try different genres. If you mean why not mix music genres as in make music that is a bit of everything, there's no reason why you shouldn't, and it is a good learning curve and good experience to try to do that. You'll get something out of learning why trying to put too many ideas into one track won't work. But I could be wrong. Yeah, it's good to do different types of music, exactly. But also on that, there wouldn't be other branches out of other kind of subgenres if there weren't people mixing up genres and trying out different things. However, it's always and it's very interesting to see what happens when you think, I'm gonna do a hard house tune, but I'm gonna I don't know, put some drum and bass in it or something, or I don't know. What have I tried to do in the past? So in the past, I've tried to make a track where it was a collaboration and it was too many ideas. So I wanted to do something techie and they wanted to do something nails hard housey, and it ended up not working because I wanted it slower, they wanted it faster. I wanted more drums in it because I like my techno. They wanted less drums in it because they wanted it faster. And that's an example of too many ideas. I'm trying to mix genres in a track, not working. But then you're supposed to try to do different things. It might work, it might not. Dean B with opera, there you go. That sounds pretty cool. There you go. But there's always something to be learned. Always something to be learned. And what it will teach you is why there are genres and what the distinctions between those genres are. Another example, actually, which is a better one, is years ago when I tried to make a hard house tune, and it was very, 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 very close to like the start of my production journey, and I didn't have a lot of hard house samples and stuff, so I was like, doesn't matter, I'll make my own, or I'll use house samples And I think I used some Dead Mouse sample packs with pre-shifted claps, and basically the point of it being, it didn't turn out well. It did not sound like a hard house tune at all. And I didn't know why at the time. I was like, why didn't it work? Like, why does it sound really shit? Like, it didn't even sound convincing at all. And I was scratching my head. I was like, why? Because I was getting everything like in the right place arrangement wise, but it just didn't sound the same. And then I spoke to Guy, and Guy was like, well, what samples are you using? I was like, oh, I'm using this Dead Mouse pack, this house pack. So, well, that's why. I was like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, he said, well, get this sample pack. And so he gave me a couple of other sample packs, which were like more hard house based. And then I started listening through to them. I was like, well, what's the difference between these then? And the main differences are, for that particular example, a lot of the sounds are sampled, and that's really important. It is really important to have sampled sounds in hard house. And also the percussion is 909 samples, drum samples, whereas the stuff that I was using from the house sample packs were, some of it was 909s, but it could have been 707s, it could have been the earlier ones from that, it could have been and also they were sampled straight from these drum machines, or they were processed way differently to how they would be in hard house. And that was the problem, is the fact that I wasn't using the correct samples for that genre. So going back to what we're saying there about mixing genres, sometimes it is important to stick to that genre, especially in the early stages, and using the right samples is so important. So important. Do you use movie samples? You can use movie samples. You might get in trouble, but you might not. But yeah. So next up we have got Benjamin, Stop the Prophet.
Doesn't matter what you own. You have gold and silver, it's going to rot, and that rot is going to eat away your heart. All of you. There will be a flood, and there will be a fire. Everything will be destroyed, but there will be a new ark riding on that fire, and I hold the keys
That is that is Benjamin. Stop the Prophet. So what do you guys think of that one? Ricky John, if you sent it to my email address for the demo drop, then I will get to it. If you've not had a reply back from me, then I've not seen it yet. Yeah, it did sound awesome, didn't it? I love the original. I Love You Stop by Red Alert, is it? Or am I getting it mixed up with another one? I've got it on vinyl. Let's put it that way. I think I've got 2 versions of it, or 2 copies of it. I really liked it. I wasn't too sure on the amount of usage of preacher stuff. Like, I think a little bit can sometimes be good, but there were 2 sections, wasn't there? One section's enough if you're going to use God preachy stuff. Yeah, too much dialogue, yeah. Like, it's, do you know what it sounds a little bit like? Ben will understand what I'm saying here. He's a mate of mine. Can I say it? I'm going to say it. Because I'm going to have to say it. Thank you, Harrison, for putting that in there. Guys, we heard Harrison's track earlier, that Piano House one. Go and give him a follow, please, on SoundCloud. It sounded like, with this one, because of the 2 lots of God stuff in there, preachy stuff, you have to be really, really selective with what you use with it as well when it's God stuff. Like, it doesn't want to be too goddy, but it wants to be uplifting. It wants to be, you know, when you watch these preacher sermons and stuff, like, sometimes I will watch them just to, like, go, oh, right, okay. Sometimes they will say, or you know, like, life coach kind of mentoring, Tony Robbins kind of thing. They'll have really enthusiastic, helpful words in them. This for me, I think whatever this speech that Ben's picked to use here, I think it was airing more on the God preachery side. It might have been better if he used one more from like a life coaching mentor person. If it is a life coaching mentor person, there's a lot of God talk in there. Not saying there's anything wrong with that at all, but I just found it a little bit jarring. But then I thought to myself, well, this would be perfect if you were like a devout follower of Christianity, but you also loved the rave scene and donk music, bounce music, and you wanted to like find a way to spread the message of God through your music. I just thought that fair fucking play. Like, if Ben has turned into a devout Christian, but it still wants to carry on doing his bounce DJ career and music, as he should. I quite like the idea in my head of a version of Ben that is now a devout follower of the faith and spreading his word through the majesty of donk. I quite like that thought. A bit like me with my donks of praise. But yeah, that was the only thing. It seemed like it was just a tad too much God stuff in there. And then when he said something about he was God or something, I was like, hang on a second. Like, there are some DJs who do believe that they are God. Definitely. And I don't think it's probably wise to subliminally message them in songs to make them think that further. Just saying. But yeah, stick to more uplifting rather than the God thing. Like, a little bit is fine, like I say, but that would probably be my only critique of this. We are all gods in our own realm. There you go. Satan is also cool. Exactly. Exactly. I like everyone. If I had to have a party, if I had a party and I had to invite, like, people from religious thingies, I would definitely have Satan there. And I'd have Jesus there. Who else would I have? Who else? Oh, Judas. I'd have Judas round. That would be cool. But it would be a mixed bag, you know? It would be a mixed bag. Without a doubt. You can't have one without the other. Exactly, Connor. So true. Duality for the win. You got it, mate. Hey, Mama Claire. Yes, someone said Satan. Satan versus Jesus armors are brilliant. Oh, I don't know why, but you've just reminded me about something. Oh, what was it called? It's a game that you're not allowed to play this game on Twitch, though, apparently. You know, like one of these like indie games. I was playing it a few months ago when Dave was round. General Bounce. It's like a mixture between. It's like the. Oh, for God's sake! Come on, brain. I'm overtired, so my brain's not working very well today. What's the goat game? Goat Simulator. It's like it's a cross. It's like if Goat Simulator was religious. I think it was like priest simulator or something like that. Did I burp? Rennie's just clipped me again for a burp. I didn't even know I burped. Soz. Yeah, so I love Goat Simulator as well, but it was a priest version, but you're not allowed to play it on Twitch because it's got like some stuff you're not allowed to do on Twitch. But yeah, you just reminded me of that. Right, next up we have got Stefano Ricky, and this is Purple Lavender.
Surrounded by purple in a
There we go. That was Stefano, Ricky and Purple Lavender. Some really lovely, lovely ideas in this track. The only thing letting it down for me was the... there seems to be... It seems to be a little bit disjointed when we go from the first part of the main part of the track into the breakdown. And I understand this because I also find it quite difficult sometimes to do my transitions. So I do understand what, you know, but I can also hear it when when I hear it in other people's as well. And what I mean by that is it didn't seem to transition well from into the breakdown, and then also coming out of the breakdown and into what we call the drop. It lost the energy. It lost the energy that was building. And it's vital that we learn how to maintain and build and build and build, and then come to this, you know, climax. I didn't want to say that word, but I can't think of any other words. I'll go through and show you what I mean now. So here's the first instance where I felt that it was a bit jarred going from one section to the other. So this is going to be going from the main part into the breakdown. So that bit for me did sound a little bit jarring from what was going on previous to that into that. It just sounded a bit, maybe having an 8-bar, a 4-bar silence, you know, it was a little bit abrupt, yeah. Maybe having, sometimes what we'll do in a breakdown, when we get to that breakdown, is we'll have an extra 4 bars just to allow the ears to rest, because the brain needs to kind of reset. So we're weird creatures, as in, like, if we don't hear it for a little while, not very long either, our brains will reset. So abrupt can work as well, yeah, it can, but for this particular piece, I think, and the fact that we're going into a breakdown, maybe, do you know what would actually probably solve this without having to do much else, would be to have a high pass filter quite low down and introduce the elements slower. So on that bit there, on that organ sound, at that point you could start it with a low down high pass filter coming up slowly, and then that would allow us to hear it coming through, but then it will open up, and as it opens up, that obviously will create even more energy. So that's the first bit. The other bit was when we get to the drop. We lost all the energy then. We lost all the energy. If it was intentional, it needs to be done a bit. It would, if it was intentional not to build things up there, I don't think it hit right. I would say, like, it needs a bit more elements in there. I didn't even hear a cymbal crash on there, a reverse cymbal crash. Using Endless Smile would probably be really good in this area. I know we mentioned Endless Smile quite a lot. I think really what's jarred me the most with that is just the fake drop. Yeah, and if you get that sorted, then that track's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then like another, like a trauma string. There's loads of ways that you could build that energy up and then carry it on through into the next section. Even introducing another element, another counter melody, a key change, something to elevate this further. And it's important to talk about things like this, because especially in terms of this particular track, because I'm really excited about this track. I really like the rest of the track a lot, but it would stop me from playing it because of those things. And it would completely change the whole feel of that track. Like the sounds of that track's perfect, absolutely perfect. But the feel, the expression just needs a bit of fine tailoring. I wish people knew like how many things as producers have to think about when we're making a tune. Like, this is why it's important to get other people to listen to your stuff, because we can stop hearing things. We can be focused on listening out for another part of the track, and then, you know, we might not notice something being, you know, tonally 5 cents out of key or whatever. It's not easy. There's so many things to think about. So many things. And it's never ending. But that's why we're here. That is why we're here. And this is what will happen when you want to be outside of the box as well. Because being a bit different being a bit different in dance music requires a lot of experience, a lot of talent, and a lot of skill. You need the skill set there and the experience to be able to pull off the talent. I said talent. I feel so deflated sometimes with it. Oh my God. But then when you crack it, when you level up as a producer, as an artist, and you get through those technical little blips, it's the best feeling ever. But it's very frustrating when you're trying to work it out. That's right, Rennie. It is hard. It is very hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, learn how to make music. And I don't even make music to the standard that I want to make music at all. So, but I think the point of it is to remember why we're doing it. And not to put too much pressure on ourselves. But enough pressure to keep us like going with it. But it can be very, very hard, but it is very rewarding. But yeah, I do love this track, Stefano. I really do. I think the ideas are so good, and I love that high. I love that gated, side chained. It's really, really nice, that. Hi, Clarko. Some great elements in this tune. So yeah, keep it up, Stefano. And guys, can you do me a solid and do Stefano a solid and go and follow him on SoundCloud, because He deserves our support. Nice one, mate. Thank you. Okay, next up we've got Cosmic Butterfly. Yay! And this is... Oh, yes. Oh, yes, darling. And this is Aquatic Energy. I loved listening to this earlier. Wow. Guys, please give it up for Cosmic Butterfly. Mate, I'm so proud of you. I really like this. Hi, Ant. What was Me Too? What was Me Too? What have I missed? It was really cool. Yeah, you can tell, can't you? There's been a lot of effort going into it. Yeah, I really like that. So guys, please go and follow Cosmic Butterfly right now. Yeah, well, we'll get following you so that we've got you ready. I am following you. Yay! I thought I might be. Yeah, really liked it. Like, I don't really have anything to say technically on this. My ears are still deceiving me at the moment. I've still got a bit of tinnitus from my gig at the weekend, as well as my normal tinnitus. But it sounded great. It sounded well balanced. Maybe, just maybe, and this may be personal preference, I'd like to hear the acid line coming out a little bit more. But if you're speaking with Bosky, as I saw in the chat there, Bosky will be able to direct you, and will be a good person for you to bounce off. But yeah, really good job, babe. Really good job. I want more acid. Yeah. Acid. Can you imagine doing a demo drop on acid? Oh my God, it would be a long one. You're welcome, Cosmic Butterfly. Hi, Savage. Yeah, other drugs are available. Probably best not to take all of them though, especially not at once. Yeah, or it'd be a really short one, but it would feel like a really long one, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, no. No, that definitely wouldn't be a good idea. It'd probably be funny for you lot though. What's a Hunter S. Thompson? Yeah, why did you raid out after 10 minutes? Yeah. Or I've got an even better idea. You lot have to do loads of acid and then watch my show. That's kind of why we do the all of the visuals and stuff though, so you don't have to. I reckon it wouldn't be any different. How do you not know most already have? Oh, well, I hope that I have been an enjoyable trip for you, if that is the case. Yeah, like, you know me, I'm always pro-choice with everything. As long as you are healthy and you are sensible and you are having fun, you do you, boo. Hydrochloric acid. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. Yeah, so Cosmic Butterfly, loved it. Please keep sending them in. I really do enjoy hearing them. So I think someone said earlier that they had sent me a new version of the track that they'd already done, that we'd played on the show. Now, that's fine if you want to send them me to have a listen to, just to see like how you've improved. But in order for us to have new sounds on here and to keep everyone interested and to get new people on the platform as well, I won't be playing new versions of tracks that we've already played at this moment in time anyway. Oh, okay, Mama Claire, yeah. I thought it might have been a reference to something like that. So if you have had a track on here and then we said make some improvements or whatever, by all means send it over to me and I'll have a listen to it and give you a thumbs up. But I won't be playing the new versions on here because that can become a never-ending cycle of stuff. That's all right, Cosmic Butterfly. So yeah, just to let you know about that. Just send me something new in. Learn what you learned from the experience and whatever we said, and then send a new track in for the demo drop. I am on earlier today, yeah, because I'm very tired from being up at the weekend. I've not had much sleep, and I've been doing a lot of cleaning vinyl. So I thought I'll get this out the way because my energy will probably be quite low around about 8 p.m. Okay, next up we've got John Boggins and Mr. Fitz, Outer Space. So there we go. That was John Boggins, Mr. Fitz, Outer Space. I really liked this because it reminded me of, I don't know, like it's got like a kind of like almost David Bowie stroke Kraftwerk kind of feel to it, but within dance music. Really, it's really different. I like the synths in it. Yeah, it's even got like a bit of synth waveness to it as well. The only thing is I feel the R2-D2 sounds get a little too repetitive. I like the R2-D2 sounds, but if it is maybe a little bit too repetitive, then like that was. Did you see what I did there? No, I didn't glitch. Instead of that, you could use a different one. Another noise. It presses leave exit button. Stop it! I always come off these shows, I'm like, oh, that was a funny one. I must be really funny. And then I look back at that and I think, no, it wasn't even me being funny. It was you lot. Yeah, exactly, Kid Dynamo. I can't put my finger on why I liked it so much. But I really did. It was the 80s flavour, I think. And that pounding... No. The kick drum. The pounding kick drum. No! No! Stop it! Oh, why did I say that word? It's okay saying it in my head, but the moment it comes out my mouth... Stop it! That's it. So remembering what we were talking about earlier, when we get to breakdowns, you know, to reset the brain, we're just going to reset the brain now, okay? When we get back to the talking bit again, we'll all be back to base rate, okay? Just wait. Okay. So, John Boggins, Mr. Fitz, Outer Space. Loved this track. For all the reasons above that we were talking about. Don't try to put me off, Richie. I'm not looking. Very, very obscure in the best sense of the word sounding track. And guys, please, please go and follow John Boggins on SoundCloud. I did it. Yes, I got through it. See, that's like the equivalent of, you know, when you see actors and they are, you know, the bloopers and they get the giggles. If I wasn't doing music, I would have loved to have done acting. But I have a feeling that I would probably get the giggles a lot. Like the moment someone says action, I'd be like, oh God. I'll just find it funny. I'd probably have to I would probably get a reputation for getting the giggles. Yeah, the blooper reels would be longer than the feature. Exactly. That could be the material though, couldn't it? But you wouldn't be able to force that. That would have to actually naturally happen. 'Cause otherwise it wouldn't be as funny. Well, it's not funny, is it? It's not funny when you know that they're doing it on purpose, because then that's acting. But yeah, I mean, I like our bloopers that we have on this show. I like keeping them all in because it shows our mentality a bit. I mean, I could go back when these shows go onto YouTube and whittle them down, and maybe I will do in the future. I don't know, and edit out all these bits. Edit out these bits for people who just want to like see the actual show. But I think that is the kind of what the show is, isn't it? A lot of it. And I also do believe that learning music production isn't just about learning the music production. It's about the philosophy. It's about all of the weird stuff that we talk in between of the listening to the tracks and that. It would make it boring, Rennie. Yeah, I think so. It would lose the essence of this. I think so. I think it would lose the essence of it. This is why, as well, I have the chat on here, so when people are watching it on YouTube, they can kind of understand why I'm reacting to things, and you know, just so we don't lose the context of stuff. Otherwise, I'll just look mental, wouldn't I? You know, I wouldn't want that to happen. Imagine people thinking I was mental. Oh, God, the shame. I'd have to write some kind of apology letter. I'd have to really, really try hard not to look mental, which would make me look even more mental. Stop it, Rennie. No. No. Not looking. Not doing that to me. I read it, but I read it and then I was like, I know what he's trying to do there. So my stubbornness kicked in and it said, no, I'm not even going to dare find that funny. But it was. But I'm not going to let you know that. But yeah, guys, thank you so freaking much for listening to everyone's music on this show. Because you don't know unless you are one of the artists that know on here. But if you're a regular listener and you just come on here and, you know, you're the guys that provide a lot of the feedback as well, you don't know how important it is to get people to listen to our music. It's really, really hard as well to get people to listen to our music sometimes. And also to know that you're getting authentic feedback is important, because even on SoundCloud and anywhere that you can put a little comment, you don't know if the person's actually properly listened to it or not. They're like, sick track, brah. Like, it's only so many sick track bras you can hear before it's just a non-event again. So at least on here we do get some kind of like quality feedback for you guys to help you move forward. And the other one is like when you send it to your mates will do sick trap, brah. It is dead noise, exactly. Do you know where it comes from? And this is no means at all me saying this in a negative way. It's just how it is. We live in an age now where we're all, as artists, collating email addresses and a fan base through likes and through comments and through that kind of exposure. You can't really even, I mean, you can't. It would be very, very difficult for you to make it if you didn't, you know, have social media pages and you didn't get people to like your tracks and all the rest of it. But unfortunately, the downside of that is when people do it, they will... You have things like hyped it, where you'll leave you'll leave a comment on someone's SoundCloud to get the download. It's a really good idea, by the way. If you haven't used Hyped It, I've used it in the past, and it is definitely a great way to get your music out there. Make no mistake. However, if you set one of the conditions to download your track, for the person to leave a comment on the track on your SoundCloud, 9 times out of 10 it will just be sick track, bruh. It won't be anything tangible or anything that you can actually use, and that's because they just want to get the download. So it's important to find a way to be able to get feedback that's more authentic. Even when you're doing label works, if there's any record label owners in the chat, I've got 4 record labels that run through Label Works as my distributor, and even when I send out promo through my Label Works promo tool, I know that the feedback for my signed artists would be, it's not going to be feedback that will be very useful for them, because I myself, when I go through my promos, it will say you need to leave a comment before you're allowed to download this track, and I always put the same thing, which I have copied and pasted straight in, and which is great release, will support. That's all I put, because I have so many of them to get through. I don't have time to put any meaningful feedback. So where do we get our feedback from in that case? It's interesting, isn't it? Where will we get our feedback from if we're only getting it from a mate who's saying sick track brah, or SoundCloud in order to get the download, or if we do get signed, the feedback that we get back from the label? They're not any of those are good sources for real feedback, which is, again, really, this is why this show is really important. And I'm so grateful for all of the people in here, especially the non-producer ones who stay around for this show, because you guys are the ones who are listening to it at the end of the day. Yeah, it has to be constructive, doesn't it? Yeah, thank you, Rennie. I watch loads of stuff that is beyond my realms of understanding. Like cooking. I'll watch cooking things. I'll watch people circuit bending old toys. I'll watch people doing all kinds of weird things with musical instruments. No, stop it. Not on that website. No. This one time at band camp. No, I'll watch people doing stuff that I've never done. No! I was doing so well as well. Such as Look Mum No Computer. Like, he does stuff that I don't really understand, and I love watching his YouTube channel. There's loads of them. Linus Tech Tips. Like, again, another one. I also love watching people doing... I love watching people doing stuff that I can't do. You know what I was saying. Oh my god, I like watching. Stop it. Oh, Rennie, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, Yeah, look, Mum No Computer is a genius, isn't he? I do need an early night. I know. Oh dear. That was brilliant. Oh dear. Yeah, I actually blushed then as well. Oh my goodness. It sounded so wrong. Oh, but yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. I really do. I think you lot are amazing. And yeah, on behalf of everyone that has sent in tracks, thank you. And we're going to go and raid Lady Paints a Lot now. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. I really do. And I will see you all. I might see you tomorrow night. I might do a stream tomorrow. I'm not sure what, though. It might be on my gaming channel. But I'll be back on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, yeah, I'm going to go now. We're going to go and see you Lady Paints a Lot. And, yeah, I'm going to get back to doing some final cleaning. Thank you, guys. Big pats on back. Well done, everybody. Did I do the raid? Did I do it? Why won't it raid? Oh, thanks, Rennie. It's because I put the @ sign in, wasn't it? Right, I'm going to get myself a coffee now and do some of these finals. Nice one, Savage. Thank you, everybody. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.